Hey everyone. So the scripted version of this broke down and died a painful death. So we're gonna freestyle this, so get ready for a lot of ums and ums and long pauses. So to start with, we're gonna need the VFShapes plugin. I'll send a link to that in the description on YouTube. And we're gonna need to make a helix. So the helix gives us the right sort of shape for the tornado that we want. And we want to make sure that we have a bunch more turns, so like 6, and we want the bias to be around the bottom, just to so the tornado is heavier on the bottom, and then sort of comes up elegantly. You'll see. Make sure this is centered at 0, 0, 0, and then you want the main box to be larger than the actual helix itself, because what this does is that if when the particles are moving around, they're going to be quite a bit frantic, and when they go out of the actual helix, we want them to be pushed back in. If you have the box here pretty much just large enough to cover up the helix, you're going to have a lot of particles escaping, and not only is that inefficient, it's going to look horrible as well. So just give it just enough sort of space, and you want this to be on every axis. After that, I'll turn off the grid. You want to go back on your helix, right-click anyway, convert to editable spline, and after opening your VFShapes menu, pick object and select the helix, density of 16, force to attract, and update. Right, now that we're in UE4, this is my workspace. I like to have it dark for the sake of showcasing the particles, and easy to see so nothing else sort of comes in the way as you're looking at them. For now we're going to be on a lid just so we can see where the platform is. So click in an empty space and import our vector field, and make a new particle system, spinning right, round, round. Open that up, and first thing we're going to do actually is go into required, and we'll type in radial. Scroll down and you'll find radial gradient. This is just a very basic texture that comes along with, I think, the starter content possibly. So you can use that. You could make your own texture, but this should do you completely fine. Go back on the particle and right click, type data, GPU sprites. We'll just do this for now. And you want to add a local vector field, and 22 tutorial. Give this 10, 10, 10 for the relative scale in 3D. Increase the lifespan to 15 and 18. Just random values. And since we're using GPU sprites, we can afford to use really high values of sprites without them being disappearing or affecting FPS too much. So we're gonna go for 60,000. We'll change the intensity to 600 and tightness to 0.03. Okay. Go into initial size. Change that up to, let's say, 555 and 222. because we're using 60,000 sort of sprites, so it'd be kind of pointless if they're all just getting overlaid by each other. Would ruin a lot of the effect. Whereas now you're getting a sort of more fluid sort of feel. So this is what you get with just the local vector field. The fun trick is when you bring in rotation rate, and on the z-axis type in 1. And that is cool. Let's bring in location, sphere, just so that it starts out at a sort of better radius. Could we do 200? Yeah, we could. Now let's. Oops. Let's change. I'm not sure how I feel about this. Yeah. Let's go to initial velocity and just change this to something like 80, 80, minus 80, minus 80. Just so that it comes out sort of to the sides more rapidly. I wonder if we brought up 400. Sort of does. 1,500. So this is what happens when the particles reach the end of the box that we set up in VFShapes. If they go out of that, your particles will just fly out like this. In this case, it's doing that because our velocity is just too high for it to handle. So. Change color over life to, let's say 0, 0, 0. 0.15 will do 0, 0, 0. 0.16 will do 120. And then at 1 we'll do 120. And we don't need this one. Actually might be too long, we'll pause. 0.08. 0.0. So you have that little black sort of dot that's the sphere from where the particles are coming from. The reason it's black is because it's black here. You should be able to sort of tone it down slightly with 0.0. What did I use? 0.09, 0.08. 0.09, 1. Now hopefully that should, yep, it gets rid of the thing, you know, that's fine. Now you can play around with these settings here. You could just bring this up 900. That'll sort of speed up the overall feel of it. In fact, I may have actually overdone it slightly with how many rotations I had at the bottom. Because from the looks of it, I don't have enough rotation around the up area, which is why it spins around here, but it doesn't go further than that. So in your case, what you could do is you could have just overall more spins. There's a lot of cool things you can create with vector fields. It's literally just a matter of playing around and just seeing what you can come up with, really. So, orbit. Right now it looks more like a like a Beyblade more than anything else. But the principle is there. If you change up the values and you play around with the values and you change up the shape of your actual vector field in 3ds Max from how we did earlier, you can get the thing you want. And really, I personally feel like that's what VFX is about, like playing around and testing things out until you get something that looks like what you want it to look like. Now we have a tornado inside a tornado. But yeah, that's going to be it for the tutorial here. Play around with settings, play around with your vector fields, create something cool. Good luck.